Hello, AJ and the Queen fans. It's your Drag Race crew here to discuss the first episode of AJ and the Queen New York. We're about to tell you what we really think of Damian Sanchez.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Every time we hear this song, it's
this music. Oh my God.
I am your host, 123 Jackie B. With me, as always, it's the Drag Race crew for AJ and the Queen, Lorraine Love.
In the house.
In the his house.
Yes. What are you picking?
With new, someone's lipstick is on my cup.
It's not mine.
Welcome to AfterBuzz. It's
Hi
okay.
guys, it's me, Jayla Roxx, and I'm back in the building.
And I'm Ollie, Drennan. I'm super excited. I miss you guys. I'm so happy. This is our first show of the year together.
It is
2020.
2020.
And we're all trying to wear red for Ruby Red.
Yes.
Am I red?
You got shades of red in
got
there.
red.
Absolutely.
I'm like a cloak
yes.
of colors, but I'll
It's red interpretation.
Okay, good. I passed.
So what? I love the show. I'm 3 episodes in, but we're only here to discuss the initial episode. So
Yes.
there's going to be no spoilers. It's only first episode.
I decided I'm only going to watch, I'm not going to watch them all. I'm going to watch them as we do them.
As we go, yeah.
I just don't, I feel like
agree.
it's going to...
Bleed and blend. And you're like, what
Yeah.
episode was that?
And
Wait, was that, am I going ahead?
And I don't want to know while we're talking about it.
Right.
What, you know what I mean?
I'm the opposite. I'm a binge girl.
Okay.
If there's something on Netflix, I'm like, boom, boom, boom. I got to keep watching. I got to keep watching.
Well, I'm
Which
gonna-
is funny
I-
because
well,
I
that's what
didn't
I
want to
say.
watch Meet the Queens like ever.
Well, I'm going to try that. We'll see. I don't do it. We always, Drag Race is a little different than this.
Yes.
So, like, other than Days of Our Lives, which is, also very different, for me to do one of these kind of shows is a little odd. So let's see how it goes.
Any first thoughts on the first episode?
I have to say that
It's so weird
every
reviewing
time-
like not Drag Race.
I know. So this is like the closest that we will ever get to RuPaul performing in drag.
Yeah.
That's it. We'll never get a tour.
Yeah.
We'll never get.
Well, you never know.
Well, if you
never
go
get
back to
an-
the 90s, you can
Right.
see the...
Well, and I was born in '94.
Did I ever tell you I saw RuPaul live?
Was it like AJ and the Queen?
No, like
Oh.
on stage here, and it was when I lived here in. I say the year.
Yes.
I don't want to say the year.
1987.
1997.
Okay.
When I lived here, somebody gave me a ticket
Jayla
to
was
see
3.
her at. It was the. It was Billboard on Sunset. I don't know what it's called now. It's not called Billboard anymore. It's a.
I don't know.
I'll have to go up and look. It's not even named the same thing anymore. But yeah, I went and saw her live there.
Now she
performing.
DJs, so
Yeah.
she performs live DJing. She
But
did
not in
Yeah.
drag. We're
True.
not going
Right,
to see
right, right.
Rue on stage lip syncing, getting money thrown at Rue.
I stayed for the premiere after the red carpet. Me and Ollie did the red carpet. We'll talk about that more later.
That's our news and gossip.
My first thought after seeing it is my first thought was, well, pilots usually aren't that good.
Wait, you didn't like it?
I didn't dislike it. Pilots tend to be a lot of exposition.
Yes.
We need to show you who everybody is. We need to introduce everybody. The story itself tends to not be profound.
I try to never judge a series by its pilot.
Right. I agree.
Because you're right. There's so much exposition
Yeah.
that has to happen. There's so much things that have to happen to set up the story that I can think like, and I've watched tons of TV shows in my lifetime. I can think like of about 5 shows where I thought that's a perfect pilot because
Yeah.
a lot of times too they'll shoot
Golden
the pilot
Girls.
first and then they'll
Perfect.
decide they want to go to series. So then they're shooting the other episodes after they have
Yeah.
Mix it up and-
yeah. So it's like.
And I just want to say that it's not a multicolored top that Jayla's wearing. It's a jumper.
Yes, it's incredible.
I gotta give her a
It's
shout out because it's adorable.
Yes, it's really
Adorable.
cute.
They're
She
saying
got
it-
whistled at.
Yeah, it's cute. And a
Yes,
yellow
girl.
pump.
And
It's
yes,
fierce.
and the yellow pumps, honey. Fashion girls.
Sorry, had
was
to get
that
that
booing?
in. No.
I think it was wooing.
Ooh.
So the first thing I want to talk talk about are the cameos because they knew that in order to drag you in, in order to drag in the Drag Race crowd, they had to chock-a-block the first scenes with cameos.
Right.
So these are the ones I caught. Let me know if I'm missing some.
Okay.
Valentina, Eureka, Mayhem, Bianca, Porkchop, Manila, Vanjie. I know there were others.
Alexis Mateo. Yeah. Bam! Which literally made me laugh.
But it's great. It's awesome that the girls get to be cast on the show, obviously. They're kind of like extras, you know, they not really have huge roles. But it's cool because I like the fact that I don't even know. I totally started talking and I don't even know what I'm saying. I like that. Crap, I don't even know what I'm talking about.
I like that.
No, this is what I meant. I'm so sorry. I'm brain farting. I like that you don't have to be a fan of Drag Race to get into the show.
Right.
Like, I think that's a lot of my friends who don't watch Drag Race but know that I love Drag Race, know that I do the show. They're like, oh, do I have to watch Drag Race in order to watch this? And I'm like, no, you really don't have to. I mean, there's some references like Bam, like Alexis with Bam, but you do not have to. Like, it's really just kind of like about the story.
Its own thing.
Yeah, it's a story about
RuPaul,
Ruby and AJ. So just like, I just urge people who don't watch Drag Race to just give it a try.
On the other side of the coin, though, I do like that throughout the episode, and it continues throughout the series, that you'll see that there are Drag Race references sprinkled in, but they're so natural to the story
you don't have
to.
Oh, did you count Mayhem?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
So there was 8? There was 8? I wrote them down, too.
And then Tom at the club, I tried to figure this out.
That's Teddy from Mike and Teddy. They are a stand-up comedy duo. They actually performed when I performed at. Right? They do have. They did a show at Fubar, but they did the Facebook rant when I did Facebook rants. Yeah. They were in the show with me. I've known them for years. When I was doing stand-up comedy, they had just started. So he's been around a long, long time. He's amazing and they're hysterical. So
that's why they seem familiar, because I went and saw you at the Facebook rant thing, and I was like,
there.
Why does this person seem so familiar? And when you type in Tom the bartender on AJ and the Queen, or Tom the bar owner on AJ and the Queen, like nothing comes up.
Nothing comes up. Well, I was really happy to see. So now we do know sometimes, allegedly, that they don't really get to see RuPaul on Drag Race. They shoot 2 scenes. So I was kind of skeptical.
Like Ru hugging the green screen.
No.
So I was like, is this a body double? Because the way they were shooting it was like he's looking down at them, but you never see them in the scene. And then the dressing room scene came when he was walking around with everyone. And I was like, oh, they do get to see RuPaul shooting this. So I thought that was great. Like, I'm kind of like, and then Mayhem's hosting and I see Ru picking up the money. Yeah. Like those little scenes like that. I was like, oh, I guess he does like them a little bit. You may not know what season you're on, but he will give you the respect.
I did think it was funny though. Okay, so we see Ru out of drag in this episode. We see and it's not like Ru out of drag on Drag Race where it's like a suit and very made up. It's like very dressed down Ru, which I appreciated. I like that. In order to sell the show, Ru was willing to become vulnerable, because I was a little worried, because in the first scene it's that glowy highlight on Ruby, and I was like, is Ru's face going to be glowing this whole episode?
I mean, yeah. And it was, like you said, very vulnerable, because there was some very close-up shots. I was like, oh, Ru is committed to the role, honey. Because there was, you could see, the tape line. I guess it was for the show or whatever. But seeing, Ru's secrets up close. And we saw Ru take his wig off. Ru was in half drag. Yeah. I was here for it. We got a lot of things that we don't see on Drag Race. So.
Yeah. And just to see more life from Ru as an actor, it's really, really human, not only humanizes him, but also kind of defeats that kind of persona that you always see on Drag Race, always made up, always, the best painted from Raven, obviously. Yeah. So it's just it's so refreshing to see Ru just acting as Ruby. Yeah. So that's why I really enjoyed it. And really actually not just really getting into the character of Ruby too as well, at least from my perspective.
Yeah. I mean, and I was also thinking, I was like, is this sponsored by iPhone? Because you have the people holding up iPhones to light Ruby up in the first scenes, and then throughout the episode it's people are all calling on iPhones, and I was like, wonder if that's product placement.
I was wondering KFC for sure.
Oh, yeah, KFC for sure. Yeah. So what do you think about, so we're in this first scene, first episode, we're introduced to the boyfriend who he turns out in the end to be bad. We figure out by the end of the episode. His name is Hector Ramirez.
The actor.
He tells Ruby
right.
his name is Hector
Right,
Ramirez.
right.
His name is actually Damian Sanchez.
And his sister is actually his wife.
Yes.
Yes.
Tia.
Listen, we all know a Damian Sanchez.
I can't pronounce her. Carrera.
Yep.
Carrera. She was in Wayne's World.
I asked her PR person. It's Carrera.
Carrera.
And she wants to come. The PR person said she wants to come to our show for AJ
We'd
and the
love
Queen.
to have
So
her.
we'd love
I
to have
have
her.
been obsessed with her since Wayne's World, so
Yeah.
I would be
So
very
come on
excited.
down, Tia.
Yeah.
And Ollie got to interview her.
She's very nice. I enjoy her.
nice.
She's very
So
good.
did you guys see this twist coming? Because I will admit, I'm like the most gullible. I'm like the best person to show a show like this to, because I was like, you know,
I
I
knew
know to
Totally.
steal from Jackie.
Right.
Well, I feel like they showed it, like they
In the
hinted
trailer.
in the trailer. They kind of hint to it in a way. Well, not even hint.
I mean,
I think they
that's the main
say
part.
that
But-
he steals her money. So
I wouldn't
didn't
trust
watch the
that.
trailer.
Oh, I mean, that's pretty much like the storyline.
Yeah.
But that guy is too fine to just be like, yeah, we're gonna go off in the world together. And all. But my thing is, I wouldn't give nobody no matching
that was
credit
crazy.
cards.
After 7 months of knowing
But-
somebody.
But
well,
isn't
that is the gay community.
That is totally,
Yeah,
the
totally.
gay
That
community,
totally
and how
is.
trusting you are, and
Yeah.
how you kind
So-
of even Ruby's character, like forgetting like their best friend Lewis, which I'm sure we'll talk about Lewis, the blind drag
Yes,
queen,
Miss Cocoa
and
Butter.
obviously like not giving Lewis any credit all the time, and kind of just being Ruby being in his own world, and being like so fixated on this character Hector, or what was it? What was his real name?
Damian Sanchez.
Damian Sanchez. It turns out this guy's a total dick that you'll find on Grindr or something, you know? So I just feel like it is very representative of like gay culture in terms of dating, unfortunately.
damn.
We've
Who
all
hurt
been,
you?
we've all been there. I mean, fudge.
I mean, there was like, so there's that scene where he's saying he's never seen his house or whatever. I was like, oh no, girl. Like,
Yeah.
The oh shit monologue.
yeah. So the best friend is played by Lewis, is played by Michael Leon Woolley. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but he's a total Broadway legend.
Yeah.
He was in The Tour of the Wiz. He was in Little Shop of Horrors on Broadway as the voice of Audrey 2. He was also the Gator in
Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, the voice of
yeah.
it. Yeah.
So I do like that they had him. They snuck in this little piano scene where he's singing.
I will survive.
I will survive.
Gloria Gaynor.
Yeah. I did love that, because whenever there are Broadway stars in like regular TV shows, I'm always like, but can you sing a little bit for me?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
I do
So-
think that he really stood out to me in this pilot episode. I think he stole the show. I'm sorry, Rue,
Absolutely.
but Lois, Cocoa Butter was the drag name.
Yeah.
Literally sold me on the show. I'm like, I want to see more of Lewis, because just the one-liners that Lewis had, and just being a blind drag queen. Are you kidding me? And
Yeah.
even the line of saying like, it kind of maybe people didn't really like, resonate with them, but you don't have to see. Like that was something that he said really quickly, but I feel like that's really stood something about like drag and kind of being a queer person that, like, I don't know, what did you guys think? Did you guys?
I have to say, adding on to what you said, like the monologues were very powerful in this first episode. So it grasped me, because I was like, oh, this is just going to be a drag show about, just drag and makeup. But actually watching it and like it pulled my heartstrings a lot, and I laughed and I teared up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it was exactly what we needed as a first episode. And thank you, Netflix, for giving us this representation.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't have a drag show like this where it's like, the hard struggles of a middle-aged drag queen.
Right.
Why did you look right at me?
Where is the shade button?
Where are our
we
shade
don't have our
buttons?
shade buttons.
What I was going to say about Cocoa Butter, it was almost going to be my quote of the week, was when he asks AJ her name, and she says, what did she say? It's 2 bad words, something.
Ass jerk or something.
Asshole
remember.
jerk off. He's like, isn't it funny how sometimes your name just really mad? I couldn't stop laughing at that. It was almost my quote of the week. It's not my quote of the week, so stay tuned to find out what was my quote of the week.
I also like the way that they're handling the blindness. It's like handled in such a typical drag way where it's like funny but poignant at the same time, because they do get some of these like shticky like blind jokes in there, but like you said, it's like there was a speech about like you don't have to see to see. So I think there's also some heart in there as well, which I appreciated.
Although I have already been seeing people complaining that he's not actually blind and that they should have cast somebody who was blind and stuff like that.
Oh, he's not actually blind?
No.
Oh, he played a great blind person then.
Yeah.
And Scarlett Johansson isn't Asian or black or whatever you guys want her to play, so whatever.
Oh man,
God.
But no, I thought it came off very believable. And in the scene when AJ slips out of the pantyhose and leaves, and he's like talking to the heater, and she's like, "He left. You mean you didn't even hear him leave? Well, why did you leave the blind person to watch the lookout?" So there were very cute, but there were definitely moments, especially even at the premiere, that people really laughed out loud. There are definitely moments where it was.
That was another thing I did think it was really funny. I can watching this episode and other episodes, I caught myself laughing out loud a lot.
Yeah, I did too.
I loved it when I keep saying Rue. I just want to keep calling Rue.
Ruby. They're the same.
That white kid stole my money. AJ just busted the window, stole all the money. I was dying, literally laughed out loud, and that's why I'm so excited to watch the rest of the show. And I feel like the show is also, to me, I know it's like set present day, but something about it. I think just having like Rue attached to it is just kind of like, and also
vintage, like
right,
90s,
also,
80s.
Yeah,
style.
the nostalgia factor of it, and obviously the creator created like Sex and the City and whatnot. And it's obviously like growing up watching Rue on like even a little bit in like To Wong Fu, the Brady Bunch movie. It just brought me back to like those times 20 years ago watching it. And knowing I was queer and seeing a queer on mainstream television kind of like 20 years later, and seeing this on Netflix on kind of like a mainstream platform, it's like awesome. And so that's why I'm really like behind this show, even by the first episode.
Do you think somebody just said the soundtrack was amazing, but I wonder if they're gonna like sell the songs from each season.
You know they are. You know they are.
It'll be.
I'm gonna like written song by Rue.
Rue just dropped another album the day of AJ and the Queen, but I don't think the songs are. So it's like a season 12 album, and then they're gonna drop the AJ and the Queen soundtrack. I'm so sure because they wouldn't have just recorded these songs with Rue if nobody's gonna buy them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but speaking of buying, I did like the gift of lashes.
Yes.
And I thought that was very like hit home to me. Like you don't know what to give people. So I'm giving everybody who's listening to this podcast right now a very special gift of lashes.
Yay!
All you gotta use is the code AJ and the Queen at checkout at batmecosmetics.com, girl.
Oh, I'm gonna go get me a pair of lashes.
I got you, girl. Lashes will make the world go round. So, in honor of this episode, just type in AJ and the Queen.
Oh, that's great.
On batmecosmetics.com.
Thank you, Jayla.
You get your free lashes, girl.
I feel like they wrote that scene specifically for you.
For you,
Of course.
right?
Actually, I wrote it in there for them.
Oh.
The scene they wrote for me was when she's shouting, "Fight! Go hookers!"
The Asian woman on the window?
Yes,
Oh my God,
I died.
that was hysterical. Like, get away! They're worse than the rats in the back alley. Oh my God, I thought it was hysterical. Yeah.
But did you guys see that? Did you guys also see the twist coming where AJ was going to be a girl?
Well, we
no,
knew.
I didn't. I really
because we
didn't.
interviewed her. Allie interviewed her.
And it spoiled it because y'all spoiled it for me. I saw the red carpet pictures and I was like, "Where's the boy at?" That's on there, and I was like, "Don't tell me that this is the girl."
Yeah.
And I was like, I was watching for myself, and then I was like, "Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I like the way they're doing."
Well, I
this.
said that to him when we were there, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Izzy G's is a girl," and he said, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And it was so funny because I kept thinking, "Am I the wrong one?" I all this time thought it was a little boy. So
She's adorable.
I'm glad I wasn't.
She's adorable,
She
and
was
she's
very
so
well spoken.
Well spoken about
So
like why you
well-
should watch the show and like kids being on the street, and even like her character. Of course, she's gonna dress up as a boy because you know you see a little boy on the street and you wouldn't think like if you see a little girl on the street alone, you're gonna probably like baby her, and she doesn't want to be baby. You know, she's clearly been neglected, and that's why she has this hard exterior. So maybe to kind of have this facade of the male little boy. Maybe that's why. At least that's my prediction. Sorry, but
We'll see.
we'll see.
Well, I said when you were doing the interview because I was listening to it. in the headphone, and it was just so funny because it was that moment where you see when it's so funny because I feel like every time I meet a young actor, I'm not going to call him a kid, a young actor on a red carpet or something like that, and they start, it's like as soon as they start talking, you're like, oh, okay, that's why you are doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? They're just always so well spoken. They're always so like, I don't know. It just kudos to Izzy G
because she's working so close to Rue as well on this show, and like even like in the interview, you should go watch it. She even says like Rue was kind of stressed out at one point, and how she kind of helped calm down Rue, and like, no, Rue, you're fine, and like you're inspiring Rue, like you're helping Rue, like you don't know how amazing and like what a huge opportunity. Well, I'm sure she knows the huge opportunity, but like you're incredible, like it's awesome.
Yeah, you can see her face in West Hollywood right now, everywhere.
Yeah.
So, I do have to say that the Netflix people said that AJ and the Queen was the biggest premiere ever.
Oh, wow.
Ever in Netflix history. Like the premiere that you guys went to was the biggest one. So I just want to know, where is Angelina Jolie and where was Brad Pitt? No, honestly, because the Maleficent premiere, they had Shangela and Eureka do the, where are these A-list actors that come to support?
Right.
You know,
That's true.
So where are they?
Who was there?
Jonathan Bennett.
Jonathan Bennett, who I interviewed.
Who looks sexy with his hair pushed back.
From the comedian, the woman that was
Whitney Cummings.
Whitney Cummings was there.
Okay.
I feel like I saw somebody else on the carpet too. I was like, oh, that's nice that they're there too, and I can't remember now who it was, but there were some other. There were some. Thelma Houston was there.
Nice.
There's some sisters from Haim, if you know the band Haim, they were there.
And you interviewed somebody from Top Model,
Isis King.
Oh, great. Okay.
So
where is Angelina Jolie? Where are the A-list stars that love Drag Race that can't
love
show
Rue?
up?
Right.
I mean, Rue's friends with like everyone.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting that they don't.
Did Lady Bunny go?
No.
I didn't see her. I mean, she could have been there. We just didn't walk the carpet, maybe.
You know who didn't walk the carpet? Sorry, off topic. Valentina. Did you notice that?
Probably avoiding me.
I wonder if she was she there though?
I think she was there.
I just want to throw that out there.
Actually, she was there. Actually, I saw a picture.
Yeah,
She wasn't in. I think it was even her boy hair.
She had boy hair and like red makeup.
Yeah, she didn't. She was kind of
see
like androgynous. Yeah, and probably avoiding me.
Michelle was there.
Michelle,
great.
she interrupts my interview with Trinity, so you can check that out.
I
forgot about that.
I will say something about the audience of Drag Race and the people who watch drag shows. It's such a like loyal audience, you know. I mean, before we were trying to schedule our episode, and people were already treating me. Are you guys gonna be recapping it? And I just think that's great because it's like, of course, it was the biggest premiere because it has the fan base that'll show up. It's not like oh, you're doing another thing, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
We need more friends like that. All 2020, we're gonna support each other. I mean, we already support each other. Like, if you're out there and your friend has something, it is free to share it, to like it, to support it. Yeah. You know, all those things. So
share all my red carpet videos.
You have a lot. You have a lot of good ones.
About 12-ish. I don't know. I've lost track.
I'm gonna circle back.
Back to the show. Back to the show.
One of my favorite messages that I got from this first episode is that, and I feel like this is going to be a through line through the series, is like family is what you make of it, because it's like you have Ruby not adopting, but like taking on this kid. And then you can see that Lewis is kind of like a family member to Ruby as well. And so, like, the fact that Lewis comes along to the club as, like, moral support when she's going to sign the lease, just little moments like that remind you it's like you can make family what you want to, right?
Your chosen family, as Rue always says.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you think I at first thought because the blonde hooker kept coming up.
That's AJ's mom.
That's what I thought. See, that's what I thought is that I was going to say, I think I'm going to predict that that's AJ's mom.
Yeah.
So let's do predictions. So that's your prediction.
That's what was my first thought. Then though, as the episode went along, I thought, well, maybe not. Maybe she's just...
They keep showing her.
Because they kept showing her, so I kept thinking there's some sort of connection here, and I don't know if she's just... my other thought was that she moves in with cocoa butter.
Oh, yeah.
Or something like that, and he takes her under his wing or something like that. So I don't know. That was my first initial thought was, oh, that's the mother.
You're right.
And the rule of TV making, there are no wasted scenes.
Right.
So the banging on the window hookers thing might be something that leads on to something else. You never know.
Yeah.
So,
One, he gives her the donut at the end.
AJ's been, AJ's been alone for a month. You know.
So
It makes sense.
just my thought.
I can't give a prediction on that.
See, this is why I didn't want to watch it.
Right, I agree.
This is why I didn't want to watch it.
I agree. Sorry.
But
Are we on predictions? Sorry.
yeah, I guess my prediction.
Long-term prediction.
Yeah, my long-term prediction is that I feel like because they kind of introduce Lady Danger, Tia Carrera's character, as like she's like this bad lady who like injects people with like fucked up silicone
Oil. Motor oil.
Yeah, motor oil.
I've never heard of that. If somebody actually does that, that's absolutely horrible.
Concrete.
Really? Oh.
But I kind of predict that because she seems to be this character who's like friendly with the queens, that maybe eventually she'll flip. Like that's my
It
prediction.
is Tia Carrera. Like she's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it ends. Well, here's my. I mean, it ends with AJ stowing away in Ruby's RV
Yes.
to travel as she's doing her tour around the country. So this season is each episode is a different city that she's in. So I'm curious if does she just continue touring every season? You know what I mean? Like I'm just curious how. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think. I think we're only getting like 2 or 3 seasons of this, and then that'll be it. Or maybe we'll just get this one, and that's it for now. I'm sure.
Well, Netflix likes to. I mean, not to knock the fact that they had a huge premiere and everything, but Netflix's history has been canceling something after 2 or 3 seasons because I think the gist with Netflix is that they get to keep the rights if the show doesn't extend past a certain number of episodes. So it seems to be that unless I don't know, unless something they feel like they could make that much more money off of keep going on. So you guys keep watching the episodes so that Rue can own them.
Yeah.
Well, Rue owns everything anyway, so
Netflix is not big on letting you own the content. I know that personally from working
not even Rue
with Netflix. They're not big on it.
Like,
They'll
I'll
fight
give
you
this
tooth and nail.
Yeah, that's why you're not getting Drag Race.
That's why Drag Race is on Hulu.
Exactly.
True. Touche.
And Netflix will re-air stuff that it doesn't own the rights to, but if it's a Netflix original or if it's something that premiered on Netflix, if it's a show that premiered on Netflix, it's different and they want to own the rights to it. So
Gotcha.
So that's just a little insider information.
Jayla, what are your predictions? Sorry.
My predictions are very every time I have a prediction, it always comes true. Right?
Because you're the writer on the show.
Right? Okay. Let me see. I'm having a vision.
Oh God, Raven Simone.
Right. Yep. That's me. I see.
That's so Jayla.
I see a couple of queens. I see like 13, 14 queens. Oh wait, that's All Stars. That's All Stars 5, girl. No. Coming out tomorrow.
I do want to give a shout out to Drew Drogi, who I ended up sitting next to at the premiere, who is a good friend of mine.
Wait, is that the Chloe Sevigny?
Yes. He actually was a writer on that episode the premiere episode. And I worked with Drew years and years and years ago. We did a comedy show together. I hosted a stand-up comedy and improv show, and he was part of that ensemble. So I've known him since I moved out here, so almost 20 years ago. And he's a very, very talented comedian, and just cheers to him. I was very proud of him.
Check out his Chloe Sevigny.
And yes, Google Drew Drogi as Chloe Sevigny, and you will have hours of thrilling entertainment.
That sounds like a fancy cocktail.
He's absolutely hysterical. He did he was in one of my Lorraine Love shows that I did. So as Chloe, it was I did a Christmas show, and I said, "Will you do Chloe at Christmas?" And he was like, "Oh my God, yes." He came in. holly branches in his hair.
Oh.
It was absolutely hysterical. So
what's your quote of the week?
Wait, I didn't give my predictions.
Oh, I'm
You
sorry.
guys don't like me.
Well, that has nothing to do with why we didn't have you do
I thought your prediction was that the hooker was AJ's mom.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why.
No, I'm just gonna say I think that another theme in the show, you brought up like family is like what you choose, but also I think that's like another theme that they're tackling is probably just kind of like corrupt heterosexual people kind of like playing and manipulating LGBTQIA plus culture.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that with Ruby and kind of like what's his face, Damien. So I think that's kind of like something that they're tackling as well. And I think Lewis is gonna help reunite AJ and the mom. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my predictions.
That's a good one. I like that.
Well, if you don't have the money, Rue, $100,000, ask Trinity or ask
Monet.
Or Monet.
or
did they
Bianca.
each get 100 or did they split 100?
They each got 100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Curious.
You would have heard about it.
But after taxes, how much did they?
Right.
That's still a lot of money after tax.
Right.
All right, my quote of the week is going to go to actually the gay cop when they were in the
Patrick.
Oh, I love the gay cop. Yeah.
Because when he says he's showing his bicep and Rues says, oh, he's blind. And the cop says, oh, sorry, I thought he was just glamorous.
I did enjoy that.
Another prediction, they're going to get together. Coco and Patrick are going to get together.
If he's recurring.
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, he
Patrick?
is.
Oh, he is.
Oh, he is? Okay. Thanks for spoiling it, Jacque.
Sorry.
Out of here.
Sorry.
She's like, actually, he dies next week.
My
And then if he
prediction
does,
is-
I'm sorry.
No, I just want to make you happy. Well, you guys, I just want to remind you that we are taping at 8 p.m. tomorrow night for episode 2, and then Thursday we're doing 2 episodes again starting at 8 p.m. So thank you guys to those who have tuned in live. And we're also going to do a fan of the week. So if you comment on the episode and let us know what you think about it, you could be the fan of the week. Yeah.
Yeah, and then don't forget.
And the news. The news are news and gossip.
Not two.
So we obviously have been talking about it since we started, but Ollie and I were on the red carpet of the AJ and the Queen premiere in Hollywood at the Egyptian Theater, and we got some footage here. Are we going to listen to this, Josh, or are you just going to play the video for them to see? Okay, well, let's play a little bit of my interview with
AfterBuzz
Rue.
TV here on the black carpet, but with an array of red.
Yes, lots of red.
Couldn't do red and red.
Well, you know, it's all for Ruby Red and Robert and the whole thing. We decided we would all do red, and I'm so glad we did because I think it looks good on everybody. You got a little red.
Did a little.
Yeah.
I'm trying to compete.
Yeah.
I'm not competing.
No, you're smart.
You're smart.
And no, I was going to say you're the smart one because you're the only one here that wore a hat.
Because it was freezing cold.
Okay, so now if somebody's watching this
is a good one,
on
Dad.
our network and they don't know anything about AJ and the Queen, what do you want them to know most about this show?
I think it's a really fun, really complicated journey between two unlikely characters who find out how similar they are.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
and for
Rue?
you, young lady?
Yeah, well, it is a road. It's a road picture, and along the road, like in The Wizard of Oz and all the great road pictures, you discover things about yourself that you didn't know because you're really forced to, and that is what this show is about. These people find out that their other half was out there, and it was in the most unlikely place.
And if that's not enough, we put music in. And Rue lip syncs and does drag. So come on.
I mean, I don't think we really need any other reason to watch. Let's just end it there, and you two go have fun.
You can see her PR person tug my arm. That's why it ended as quickly as it did.
That was great.
That was so good.
Yeah, it was short and sweet.
I would just like to say that freezing to Mark is 50 degrees.
Yeah. No, Ollie's poor fingers were
I
like.
was not prepared for this.
Yeah, he was.
I didn't have any
I at least
heaters
had
or
my jacket
anything.
on.
They didn't have any
The cold
patio
doesn't bother me,
heaters?
but he was really.
I mean, I didn't know what cold was until I went to Canada for New Year's, and I was like, I'm a liar. This is real cold.
Well, but that being said, thank God it was cold for the drag queens because they would have been dying if it was warm.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
at least
Very
it was a little
true.
cold for them. So
Do we have any other news and gossip? Jayla is on a show.
and you can-
Sequester.
We're almost done. There's 2 more episodes left. I'm in the top 6.
Yay!
I'm one more episode away from the finale, bitch. So maybe I might win, maybe I don't. We'll find out in like a couple of weeks.
And tweet Jayla some love.
Yes. Oh my God, these people have been shading me, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. I do have to say that it is safe to say that we are coming back for All Stars. So I was gonna say All Stars 12, All Stars 5, and season 12.
Yeah.
So yes, that's
whenever that's announced.
Whenever that's announced, so maybe after this.
I think February is one or the other. I can't remember.
Well, there's going to be a drag.
12 is going to be first.
There's going to be a drag.
There's Celebrity first, then
12?
5, then 12.
Wow. But I know that there's going to be a UK Drag Con coming up, and I think they're going to announce something
January.
there. So I think that's...
And if anybody can let me know, I did hear a rumor that Bag of Chips might be on All Stars.
Too soon.
Well,
wait, no.
All Stars 5?
Yeah.
No,
I don't
know.
No, they already filmed
That was
it.
just a Twitter rumor?
Yeah, that's probably some Twitter stuff.
No.
That makes me sad.
All Star 6.
All Stars 6. She's
No,
putting
we
in the
need to
universe.
see. We need to see international All Stars.
I
US
agree.
versus UK versus Canada versus wherever else you find.
Australia.
Yeah.
Thailand. Don't they do Thailand?
They do Thailand.
Well, thank you
All right.
guys for tuning in to our first episode.
Yes.
We will see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m.
And Ronnie will be joining us.
Ronnie Jr. is going to
Ronnie
fill in for
Jr. is going to
me.
fill in for Mark.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Where
and
can
we're
they
going
find
to
you,
Jackie B.
Where can they find you, Jackie?
What's your Jackie B on all platforms?
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lorraine Love, Loraine Love.
Yes,
Jayla?
and you can watch me flex on the gram. Follow me at Who is Jayla Roxx. That's 2 X's 3 if you nasty.
Yes, and I'm Ollie Drennan. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Ollie Jmir.
Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.